Alright, in this video we're going to be looking at how we can use the specific classifications and the properties of certain types of triangles, along with our knowledge of the angle sum of a triangle to solve for pronumerals. So let's get started with our first one. So we're trying to solve for x degrees, and we've got these two pairs of lines here that are equal, meaning that this is an equilateral triangle. And one of the properties of an equilateral triangle is the two base angles are going to be equal as well. So, in this particular question, what we need to do first is solve for A. If we solve for A by using the properties of a straight line, then we have two of the three angles necessary to solve for a angle sum of a triangle. So let's get started with A. A plus 120 degrees must equal 180 degrees because it's on a straight line. So that means that A degrees is equal to 180 minus 120 degrees, and that is equal to 60 degrees. So we know that this is 60 degrees, and we know that this is 60 degrees. Now, because we know that they are both 60 degrees, we know that x is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus 120 degrees, and that is equal to 60 degrees as well. Alright, moving on to B, we have an equilateral triangle because every single one of the sides are equal. And we know that in an equilateral triangle, everything's equal and they are all equal to 60 degrees. Okay, so we need to solve for x, knowing that each angle is equal to 60 degrees, which means that this is also a straight line. And so x degrees plus 60 degrees must equal 180 degrees. That means that x degrees is equal to 180 degrees minus 60 degrees. And that means that x is equal to 120 degrees. Alright, looking at C, we have 2x and we have x degrees here and we have 90 here. So we need to write an algebraic expression in order to solve this. So we have two groups of x here and one group of x here and 90, so we have three groups of x plus 90 degrees is equal to the angle sum of a triangle, which is 180 degrees. So three groups of x in total is equal to 180 degrees minus 90 degrees. That means that 3x degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Now, in order to get rid of the pronumeral out the front, we need to divide both sides by 3. So 3x divided by 3 just becomes x, and 90 degrees divided by 3 is going to be equal to 30. So x is equal to 30 degrees. Okay, here's a few for you guys to practice, so give the video a pause, give them a go, and then I will solve them. Alright, let's get started. So if we look at D, we can see we have an equilateral triangle. Not an equilateral triangle, an isosceles triangle. In an isosceles triangle, we have base angles that are equal. So, if we were going to solve for A, we could use the properties of a straight line. That means that A plus 115 degrees is going to be equal to 180 degrees. So, A degrees is equal to 180 minus 115. And that means that A is equal to 65 degrees. Alright, from here we know that each angle is equal to 65 degrees, so we know that x plus our two angles is going to be equal to 180. So plus 65 and plus 65 is equal to 180 degrees. And we can simplify that down, that x is equal to 180 degrees minus 130 degrees. And that means that x degrees is just equal to 50 degrees. Alright, if we look at E, we have an equilateral triangle. Every single angle is going to be equal to 60 degrees. And because we only care about this relationship here in solving for x, we know that because they're on a straight line, x plus 60 must equal 180 degrees. And that means that x is going to be equal to 180 minus 60 degrees, and x degrees is equal to 120 degrees. On the equilateral triangle, every single angle is equal to 60. Alright, if we look at f, we have to put in our own kind of Bernoulli rules and solve for them in order to solve for x. So let's get started. Let's make this a, and then once we've solved for a, we can solve for b. So because these are both on a straight line, we know a plus 105 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So a is equal to 180 minus 105 degrees. That means a degrees is equal to 75 degrees. Alright, we know this is 75 degrees, we know this is 75 degrees, we do not know what b is, so b is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus our two lots of 75 degrees, which is going to be 150 degrees. That means b is equal to 30 degrees. Now if this is 30, and this is also on a straight line, then b degrees, x degrees plus 30 degrees must equal 180 degrees, and that means that x must be 180 minus 30, which is just equal to 150 degrees. Alright, that's it for this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.